another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio, and remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from beautiful San Antonio, Texas. I am currently in West Bexar County. My name is Mike Jimenez. Joe Garcia has taken the day off because he's in training right now with the Department of Homeland Security, starting his new gig. Very proud of our guy. He's going to be out all next week as well. So we're going to have rotating guests coming in. And today we've got Rick Fernandez, United States Marine Corps retired, joining me today. You know him as the real Fernandez. Dude, I love your shirt. I tried buying that a month ago. They were out. That's a great shirt. What's going on, Rick?
Hey, good morning, man. Good morning out here in sunny San Diego. Yeah, man, look at that. That's that Bill Miller, bro. That's that one-on-one. And the store number 43. That's the store I used to work at, Culebra 410. So this is a classic, man, a one-on-one. You know, I don't want to put out who made it because I don't want them to get sued. But you know who it is.
So
you know who it is.
Miller's original.
You know who it is.
No. I can still get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I love that shirt, by the way. And just proof, by the way, that the hat that you have, the Spurs hat, was Bill Miller's inspired. I mean, the whole thing looks like a logo.
I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be, right? I mean, look at this. I mean, this matches. It's got to be, man. I'm here for it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love my Bill Miller. And it's funny because I get a lot of crap about it. Again, man, I never said it's Salt Lick. I never said it's like, one of those barbecue joints that you go until it runs out. I never said it's that. We know what it is. Again, It's all about managing your expectations. I know what it is, but for what it is, it's worth for what it is,
It's good breakfast. It's good fried chicken. It's hot 20-year-olds that are serving the food. What the hell's going on there? Back in the day, when I was a young man, it was like, I'd go hang out with Bill Miller's because they got the cuties in there.
Hey, listen, bro. Yeah, I worked there all through high school, bro. So trust me, I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
By the way, so my daughter's in town right now. She's in the other room. My daughter Gabby, so graduated from LSU, working for the Baton Rouge newspaper. She's in town to celebrate my youngest daughter's birthday, her sister, and it's a big surprise for tonight. Nice. What does she want to do today? She wants to go to Bill Miller's.
Yes,
that's what she wants to do. So after this, I got to go, but I got to be really selective in what I'm eating because, Rick, I stepped on a scale today. It's the lowest I've weighed in 2.5 years. In the last 2 years or so, I've lost 20 pounds now.
Yeah,
getting out a little bit. I'm rocking some scruff, dude. We're gonna have to do a rotating video that you have over at Rocket Lock. I'm probably down 15 pounds since then, dude.
We got to do it again, man. We got to do it before and after. And hey, this is divorce Mike revenge body. You know what I'm saying?
I'm celebrating already with my piñata shirt, man. I wore this because my daughter loves this shirt for whatever reason, the piñata shirt. So, you know the whole thing about piñata, right? You look at it, you think to yourself, I'd hit that.
Yeah, we're already getting some Bill Miller talk in the chat. We got Sam Selena saying there's a travesty that there's not a Bill Miller's on Marbach. That's true. I mean, there's one on the one on like Marbach Military, like right by like China Rose and all that. There's one right there. That's like close to Marbach. I mean, but yeah, there is not one on Marbach, which is very true. But the one on Marbach and Military by the China Rose, I mean, it kind of by de facto can be called Marbach. Yeah, 302 for 2-piece and a tea. I remember that stuff, man. But yeah, man, I worked there. Like I said, man, it people give me crap about it. Like I said, man, I never said it's award-winning barbecue, but for what it is, I'm telling you, man, those breakfast tacos are legit. Brisket, egg, and cheese, man, is my move. The salsa's good. And again, in a busy mom, busy dad, busy family where you're in a pinch and you want to get some decent food that's not to me, I say it's like in between fast food and like good sit down food. Yeah. So I mean, again, man, it is what it is, man. And I think it's just
maybe they got the pie.
Yeah.
Now tonight, my daughter's birthday, 12 years old, turned 12 yesterday. We wished her a happy birthday yesterday. So Ava wants to have Olive Garden tonight, and I've been doing the low carb thing, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Low carb it 5 days a week, and then 2 days a week. This is my day off, right? But dude, I stepped on the scale today. Now I feel guilty if I go to Olive Garden. I can't be eating a shit ton of pasta, dude. It's just
man, carb load.
But I will let loose. So I'm gonna have something relatively low carb at Olive Garden. I know I'm gonna be that dude, but I can't say no to the cheesecake. I'm gonna go work out beforehand, do at least a 3-mile jog, so that I can have the caramel cheesecake.
Man, those breadsticks are on point too, man. Those breadsticks are on point. We got $1.99 super chat from Mario Cavazos. It's Friday and we don't give a damn.
That's a reference to 995 Kiss and Joe Garcia, who absolutely loves that phrase. Mario Cavazos, thank you so much. Sam Salinas asked me for a photo early today, and I just sent him just one earlier, so he can go on the chat and talk about that later. But my name is Mike Jimenez. We do sports, pop culture, nostalgia around here. It is Friday. It was funny because I was talking to a friend of mine. My friend and I were going for a 4-mile hike up and down the streets, right? My neighborhood, the hills, just massive, right? It's not flat land or anything like that, right? But we're going for a walk. He goes, "Hey, Jimenez, I bet on San Antonio's the Bernie Little League team." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I bet the money line. They got it. They won 9-0. They beat that team from Pennsylvania." And I was there going, "Dude, you did not bet on 12-year-old boys." And he goes, "Damn straight I did. It was on ESPN." So I got to ask you this question, Rick. Betting on 12-year-old boys, fair or foul? I mean, it's being offered now. They're not doing, apparently this website that he was on, which I believe was BetUS, is not offering spreads. So there's not like 1.5 or whatnot. It is straight, because I guess point shaving, run shaving, I don't know.
The 12-year-olds could get those 12-year-olds could get got to. You know what I mean? So you gotta, offer them some canes or something, man. You never know. So you know what I mean?
PlayStation, something.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're offering money lines. They're offering money lines. Who's going to win? Yesterday, Bernie was minus 160, right? So you bet $160 to win 100. That would have been easy money because last night they beat the living crap out of that team from Pennsylvania, 9-0. Got a grand slam along the way. My favorite play of the game, though, was that guy from Pennsylvania who leaned into the pitch, and they gave him first base. And I was like, "Dude, they gave me first base.
Yeah.
The ball was over the plate. How is that a hit by pitch?" It's crazy. But what did you think of the game? And what do you think about betting on 12-year-olds?
Well, I'll tell you what, man, and I watched the game. It was on ESPN, right? First of all, it's a cool story. Bernie, not too far from San Antonio, right? So a lot of ties to us. I love the Little League World Series. My oldest son, who's 26 now, he used to play a lot of baseball when he was younger. And this was when I was already in the Marine Corps. We were in like North Carolina, which is a big baseball area, right? Kinston and all that kind of stuff. So and he used to pitch, and I used to love, watching him play. It was pretty amazing. So we love watching the Little League World Series. It kind of throws me back to when my sons were younger and playing baseball and whatnot. And then again, being that it's Bernie ties to San Antonio, I love the story. So I saw that they were playing. I was all right, I'm gonna watch this, right? And it's funny that you say about the betting on 12-year-olds. I didn't bet on 12-year-olds, but I will say this, and this is just me, and I don't know if other people might be the same way. It's a Thursday, chilling, watching some sports. I crack a beer open. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I got some beer in the fridge. I grab a beer. I'm sitting there watching. I'm watching the game, and I'm like, it kind of hit me like, man, I'm sitting here having some beers, watching 12-year-old boys play baseball. Like, is that, I don't know. Is that weird? Is it not? I don't know. That's just my own thing, right? But nah, man, it was just funny. It was just a funny thought. And then when you say that about your buddy betting on them, hey, man, it's like you said, it's on ESPN. They're giving odds, or they're giving it. Like, why not? I tell you what, that Bernie team was on point, man. That pitcher, they had a couple of pitchers, but those kids were on point, man. And they play in up that way, so there was a lot of Pennsylvania fans, and there was a lot of fanfare there. So the Texas contingent pretty much took over there, man. It was cool because they would show the crowd, they pan to the crowd. They got all the fans there. They had some really cool hats. I don't know if you saw them. They were like these trucker hats that said Bernie. And in it was like a Texas, the state of Texas, that was really cool. And it kind of looked like kind of like these colors, a little bit. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, man, hey, Hey, I guess it's all's fair in love, war, and Little League. You know what I mean? I guess it's fair
It's
to
on
bet, man.
ESPN.
It's on
It's
ESPN.
on ESPN. Now, here's the thing. The game got going. Caden Guffey hit a solo home run to give Bernie a 3-0 lead. And then Cole Newsom just blew the game wide open with a grand slam thereafter. Commanding 8-0 lead. They won 9-0. Here's the thing, though. They play again on Monday. So they've got some time to rest. Dude, isn't school starting? They're going to miss the first week of school.
Yeah. You know what? I guess, man. That's what one of my sons said yesterday. We were watching it. He was like, man, they usually play more in the summer. He's like, I'm surprised they're kind of late into the season. But yeah, I guess, hey.
The Olympics.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. That's what I told him. I said, I think the Olympics might have changed that.
Now, let's talk about betting, because what is the dumbest thing you've ever bet on? Like a legit bet on? Because I have an answer for this. Well, you think of that, by the way, back during COVID when everything was shut down and there was no sports for a period of time, there were websites out there that were simulating Madden football video game. No one playing each other. It's not like esports. It was they just simulated the game. We're going to start it at 7:00. Place bets on a computerized Dallas Cowboys taking on the computerized Philadelphia Eagles with over/under and touchdowns and all that stuff. I sat there on my big screen TV watching a computer simulation parlay on the Eagles and the over. And I did it for like a whole summer. It was degenerate. It was stupid, but it was fun. I had a few friends taking part doing it as well from their home.
Yeah.
COVID was weird time.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm it's funny because you go to Vegas and I know you go to Vegas. I love Vegas. And you look at what you could bet on anything. You can bet on anything. I mean, like literally you could bet on anything, right? And not only just the games, you could bet on, hey, who's gonna score the first basket, who's gonna win the tip off, like on a basketball game, who's gonna hit, who's gonna get on the base second, and all this kind of stuff. But you know what? I'm not really like I don't think I'm not a big bettor. I mean, I bet on like boxing and I bet on like normal stuff like that everybody bets on. But I really can't think of something that I bet on that was like crazy. But I will say, kind of like a dumb bet that I made, or it turned into a dumb thing, was last year or this past Super Bowl. I didn't, for some reason, I didn't remember that they changed the overtime rule. Right. Remember before? So one of my son's friends was here and I was feeling good and I was having a good time. And I was like, I said something about like, oh yeah, like, the old rule, like where, hey, if they score a touchdown, like, or, the game's over, or whatever I had said. And my son's buddy was like, nah, like, that's the rule change, blah blah. And I was like adamant, like I will put money that it's not, like I was just talking so much trash, and I was just so sure that I knew what I was talking about. And I'm like, $100 right now says blah blah blah, and like even my sons are like, Dad, you're wrong. And I'm like, no, and I'm just so hard-headed, and and people that know me know this. Steph knows this all too well. If I get something in my head, I have such a huge ego, and I'm just like gonna stay the course. And I'm like, no, and I'm like, I bet you 100 right now. This and that. I'm just talking, and he's like, I don't even want to take your money because you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? and he's like a 25-year-old kid. He's my son's friend. He's a friend of the family. He comes to the house a lot, and he just got back from the Army. But anyway, it was just funny that like I was just so. And I was wrong. I looked back and I was wrong. Like I was like, oh damn. It's one of those moments when you're like, oh, I talked all this crap, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was wrong. My bad. Proceed. Well,
it's funny whenever someone saves you from yourself, man. As far as from when it comes to betting, the weirdest bet. Tell me if I'm unpatriotic for this. Unpatriotic for this. Yeah. Going to Vegas for the Super Bowl, betting on the national anthem. Okay. I remember the over-under was 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And it starts, and all of us are going hand over heart, and then we have our stopwatch on our phone. and we're all, and then we get to like, and the home of the, and it just went longer than 2:06 by far. Everybody who had the over started cheering. Everyone was like, yeah, we hit it. The song is still going on. Is it unpatriotic to bet on the national anthem? Or
Man, I'd say
is it all fair in love and war and Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's a new one, man. I haven't heard of that one, but I think it's all fair, man. I do. I mean, it is what it is, man. That's funny though. That's funny. Like you said, you're sitting there, you got the hand over your heart, you're emotional, and then you're looking at that ticker, that clock, and then, and then when it goes over, you just go crazy. So that's
the best one I had, a Super Bowl bet, was back in the day. I want to say it was Ed Reed. I bet like $50 that Ed Reed would have a pick six in the Super Bowl, and he did. It was like 16 to 1 odds. I got $800. Just go in and go cash it in. Got a $5 super chat we're going to cash in from Sam Selena saying, breaking news. Mike has breaking news, boys. Hit it, Mike. That's what I get for texting you during the show, Sam Selena. During the intro of the show, I texted him something. He was like, why are you so skinny, Mike? And I sent him photos. So there you go. I'll breaking news later on. Mario Cavazos saying, tall tale time, Mike. How did you measure the inches of snow during that COVID winter? That was when I told Joe back in the day. I was like, that my neighborhood, according to KSET and Ken's, when they pinpointed the neighborhood that had the most amount of snow a few years ago during the snowpocalypse, it was West Creek and Weston Oaks, which is my neighborhood, and they said it was 7 inches of snow. I said, I didn't believe it. So I got on my stomach, and lo and behold, it was true.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. Yeah, we remember that one.
But, man, I now want to bet on 12-year-old boys, dude. After watching this Bernie team go up and blow up that Pennsylvania team, I want to bet on 12-year-olds. I mean, I have no problem with it now. Dude, think about it this way. I can invite the boys over to the house Monday night, watch Little League, have $25-50 on the action. Again, only money line. Drink a Blue Moon or a Shiner Bock, and just have a night. Or we could go to Twin Peaks, right? Bet on the. I'm coming around to it. Like before the show started, I was like, I would never do that. But now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah.
Am I going to be scouting these guys? Dude, the best part of the Little League is what they say, like what their favorite musician is or their favorite actor or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. You can tell a lot about someone's swagger when they come.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? It's also it's like the Olympics. It's like other big events where like something happens and it becomes goes viral, or like there's a star, like you said, or a kid. One of these kids are funny, man. They're funny kids, man. And like you said, when they interview them about what's your favorite food or whatever. There was a kid from the Pennsylvania team, like just like munching on like chicken strips or something yesterday, like in the dugout, and they like zoomed in on them, and it's just funny, you know what I mean? Stuff like that's funny. But
let's do our intro. Let's do our intro right now, okay? Like growing up, I played left field, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So ask me like my favorite musician, my favorite actor, and then favorite food, right? So I'd be like, hi, I'm Michael Jimenez. Number 13, I play left field. My favorite food is enchiladas. My favorite actor is Tom Hanks. And my favorite musician is Stone Temple Pilots.
Man, all right. Hey, what's up? I'm Ricardo. I sit on the bench. They don't really play me much, but it's okay. My favorite food is tacos, and my favorite musician is Emilio Navaira.
Yeah. Nice, Emilio, baby, Emilio. Dude, my favorite back in the day was the whole thing about Emilio Navaira hooking up with Selena Quintanilla back in the day. That was the rumor. Did you ever buy into any of that?
I mean, that's like that's like Tejano royalty, right? That it would have been, I kind of didn't. I mean, but. Yeah, man, that would have been, they would have had like some Tejano royalty babies, had that happen. But going back to the I quote tweeted your tweet about the show, and I said, we'll find out if it's demure, right? Betting on 12-year-olds. You've seen this, like, it's funny, man. TikTok or somebody tells you what's viral or what's the word, so some girl on TikTok said about being demure and being classy and cutesy and whatever, and of course it gets blown up, right? It gets you go on your feed and that's all you see. You see these, and it's just a how our society is, right? Like somebody on TikTok with 1 million views or whatever says something or whatever, and it goes. So now that's the word of the day. Apparently, we might be late. That might have it's been a thing for like 10 days. So maybe we're late to the party. But that's the word for the females to say they're demure. They pull this and it's a trend, so they want to say it. It's like, you ain't demure, baby. You're fucking delulu. You know what I mean? Like don't get it twisted. So it's pretty funny.
Very cool. Joined by Rick Fernandez, United States Marine Corps retired. Exit 7, John J. grad, UT.
Yeah.
All that stuff, man. We are 2 weeks away from the start of the college football season.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Now I know there's gonna be a game. There's gonna be a game next week, if I'm not mistaken. But like full force, all the
full. Yeah.
In about 2 weeks. I'm excited about it, and really, my over/under on the number of games I'm going to go to this year is 5. I want to go to 1 LSU game. I want to go to at least 3 UTSA games, 1 Texas State game.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any plans to go to any games this year?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to come back out. Out there. I would love to come to some UT games. I didn't make any last year, man. I kind of sucked, but. Even the UTSA tailgates are fun. I was out there last year, Steph and I, for a couple of them. Again, I'm not a UTSA guy, but hey, it's when in Rome, I'm down to have fun, have a good time, drink. The Texas UTSA would have been awesome. But I'm kind of looking at the schedule. But I mean, my focus is the schedule that was released yesterday. I'm planning my life around that.
Now, here's the thing. Everyone's saying that the Spurs have 21 nationally televised games. Do we really count NBA TV as nationally televised?
I saw that. I saw that. I tweeted that we have 21 nationally televised games yesterday. And somebody else was like, no, it's 14. Semantics, I guess. I do think NBA. Again, not nationally televised is your local station. Again, this is probably something that Spurs Twitter is going to argue about, because we have to argue about something. So here we're talking semantics. I mean, you sound like you don't think NBA TV is. I think it is, because by definition, I mean, if you have NBA TV and you're watching outside your market, you're going to watch the Spurs game. So a not nationally televised game would be on our local broadcast, right? I mean, that's by definition, it's only shown on our local broadcast. Now, NBA TV, some people have it, some people don't. But I mean, I guess that's someone that you could say that about ESPN. I mean, I don't know. Some people have it, some people, I don't know. To me, yes, NBA TV to me is a nationally televised event, because it's televised nationally and people all over the nation can see it.
Okay, I'll buy it. I guess
I'm a keep it simple, stupid guy. That to me, that's the definition.
Sam Salinas agrees with you. Says NBA TV is available and broadcasted on a national scale, so that qualifies. All right, I'll buy into it, right? But to me, nationally televised, I guess in the truest sense, is ABC, NBC,
ESPN,
ESPN. So let's talk about the schedule that the Spurs have. The regular season is going to start on October 24th on the road at Dallas. That seems to be a thing for the Spurs.
Yeah,
right? Dallas is the way you start, it's the way that you end.
It was home last year in Dallas, but it was home last year in Dallas. This year it's starting on the road in Dallas. Man,
they got a back-to-back thereafter against the Houston Rockets. So let's go through the first 10 games of the season. Ask a question: what is their record going to be after 10 games? Okay, so this is the first, basically 2 weeks of the 2.5 weeks of the season. At Dallas. Home and home against Houston. Actually, no, both games are here in San Antonio. That's wild. They got a Saturday, Monday game. The first 2 home games of the year are against the Houston Rockets. It's not even home and home. It's just back-to-back home games for the Spurs against the Rockets. Our state rivals, we play them the first 3 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a Texas-heavy first few games. And then, I mean, Oklahoma City, they want to be Texas. So, I mean, you might as well throw them in there.
At Utah against a former Spurs assistant coach. Minnesota, here at the Frost. At the Clippers, at the Rockets. So look at that. 3 of the first 8 games against the Rockets. Then against Portland and Utah. Dude, I'd be disappointed if the Spurs weren't at least 5-5 after 10 games.
I agree. I think they have a good shot to be at least 5-5. I think that's a pretty favorable schedule. Like, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, again, three, 3 games against Houston, 2 of them in San Antonio. Kind of you got a grudge match thing going there, so you never know. I don't know. I feel like Spurs can go into Dallas and kind of shock some people. I really do. I know we're Spurs fans, and I know people are gonna say I'm a homer. I'm just saying, man. I think Wemby, man, coming fresh off of that Olympic, all that stuff. I think he would love to go into Dallas and kind of, go against Luka, almost like another Olympics type matchup, right? Luka is a hero in his country. Wemby might look at it like, he might still be on that Olympic high, and might go in there and steal one in Dallas. I plan to be there. I plan to be at the first game in Dallas and the first home game in San Antonio. I'm already looking at my calendar, marking up my stuff to get out there. So my goal is to be in. I mean, it's Dallas on the 24th, and then it's 2 days later in Houston. I mean, back in San Antonio. So that's an easy trip right there. Roll out to Texas, and then hit Dallas, and then come back home, and then watch the Houston games. But yeah, man. And I tell you what, I'm excited about the first Clippers game. That's going to be in the new stadium out here in Inglewood.
Right.
And I'm planning to hit that one. I'm definitely planning to hit that one. That new stadium in Inglewood is going to be amazing. It's going to be crazy, man. Ballmer is like putting crazy money into that stadium.
And there's certain sections where you can't wear the opposing teams.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
By the way,
so I'm gonna have to figure out the area I can sit in. So
we are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook as well. By the way, you can take part in the show by being part of our chat, and our chat is powered by MCS General Contracting. You can give them a call at 210-774-9155 for your concrete placement needs. I am a client myself. I've said it several times, but honestly, I'm looking at it right now. They did a fantastic job. They extended my back patio, my covered back patio. Got a sidewalk on the side, helped with the slab and all that stuff because I had some like overrun. It would rain. My dogs were digging up and stuff, exposing pipes, exposing things. I was embarrassed, dude. I was absolutely embarrassed, Rick. They came over and they didn't give me crap about it. They're like, we're just going to fix this. Okay. We're going to cap this. Yeah. We're going to have a walkway here. It's not going to leave the slab exposed. It's going to reinforce things. Water's going to go out this way. Water's going to go out that way. But man, they were telling me they do basketball courts. Mm-hmm. They do pickleball courts. They do tennis courts. They do slabs on homes.
They do it all, man.
And they've been with us from the get-go. Chris Leha and fellas at MCS General Contracting. They got the new merch too. 210-774-9155. Don't forget also to subscribe to Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs for your daily Spurs content. At Jeff G Spurs on Twitter and Threads. I subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, more than 5,000 subscribers. He has a story today about a card collector who's announcing a $1 million bounty on a certain Victor Wembanyama superfractor auto card. I have no idea what that means, but the memorabilia thing is big these days. Mm-hmm. And, I look at all these cards, and I going to be honest with you, I haven't gotten back into it. I do have a Wemby rookie card because I just needed to have one. But how are you with those memorabilia, man? What is your memorabilia? All the photos that you take? Is that what jerseys have? What is it?
You know what? So I actually have a bunch of cards too. Like my sons and I used to collect a bunch of cards when they were younger. And one of these days I should bust them out. They got a lot of signed cards. Like my sons have like a stack full of signed cards. And I have some. I mean, I'm talking like Steph Curry, Dirk. I mean, like you name it. And a lot of these were like when they were first coming up. When a lot of these players were first coming up, my son, we'd go to a lot of. When I was going through the officer program at UT, we lived in Austin. That was back in 2009, and that was kind of like when we would go to a lot of Spurs games and stuff like that because we'd bounce between Austin and San Antonio a lot. And we'd go to the games, and my sons would get out there, and they, so we got a bunch of cards that they have that are signed. Which, man, I don't even. They're probably worth something, But yeah, for me, as of lately, getting the pictures and kind of doing all that is my thing. And it's cool. Like it's a lot of the players, man, it's crazy, man. Cause, there's a documentary, it's kind of off topic, but it's on topic, but, I'm going kind of giving a shout out to our boys who love the WWE, right? Brandon, Big Papi and, Sith. there's a documentary about a super fan on Peacock, a WWE super fan, and it talks about how he would always come to the game, to the the matches or whatever, and like the wrestlers started recognizing him. That they'd be like, "Hey, where's Vlad? Where's our guy?" Whatever. And that's kind of a thing. And I'm not sitting here trying to act like I'm some kind of famous super fan, but the players do recognize some of those fans and the super fans, like, because they see you over and over and over, right? People like the Spurs lady, right? People like love him or hate him, Spurs Jesus. People like love him or hate him, Mark Brunette, the Wemby haircut guy, the alien guy, like those crazy super fans that come out to all these games. Taro, right, or Japan's #1 super fan, like those guys and gals. I'm telling you, the fans, the players and the like coaching staff and stuff, remember fans that come over and over. Because even like with me going to the summer leagues all the time, I've interacted with some of like the assistant coaches, some of the security guys, because they see you over and over and over, right? And I've even got lucky enough to get like kind of like pulled a little bit closer or down into the court and stuff by people that from the organization, which they're just kind of recognizing fans and they want to give you a little something back. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to do that, right? So I've been lucky and blessed that I've been able to go to these games and stuff like that. So that's kind of how, my thing. But yeah, I think it's cool when the players kind of start recognizing and remembering some of the fans. Like, and again, even like in the summer league, where it's not it's like Bouye and those guys. And I'm not saying that they're superstar guys, but you get a chance to talk to them, interact with them at the summer league, right? And they would say like, "Hey, we could hear you guys up there. Like, we hear y'all. We appreciate y'all." And that's so cool, And I tell you what, and the away games, again, I get it, and man, I'm blessed that I've been able to go to away games. I live out in Cali, so like I go out to LA to the games. I go to Phoenix. So when you're in an away game, it stands out a little bit more, right? Because you're like they see fans, are like, wow, like these fans are traveling, or these fans are of course at home they're gonna, like, obviously they love their home crowd, but there's also something to be said about like being at an away game. You kind of stand out more, where you're in a sea of Lakers fans and all of a sudden you see the Spurs gear or whatever, right? So but yeah, man, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's amazing all when a player recognizes you. I remember when I was in the media back in the day, even when they would see me out and about. And I never introduced myself as, "Hi, I'm Michael." I was just kind of holding the mic half the time. For them to see you, they recognize your name on your press pass, and they see you at a club. I remember I ran into Sabaki Walker one time. I remember running into Antonio Daniels one time. And Antonio Daniels goes, "Hey, what's up, Mike?" And I was like, he said, "What's up, Mike?" to me at Racquetball and Fitness.
Yeah.
And it was weird, man. It was weird. He recognized it, brother. By the way, going on to the schedule, the Spurs will be playing 2 games in Paris, January 23rd to 25. Poodles in Paris, going to be out there. What I found interesting, though, is the games that are going to be in Austin. One of them includes a game against the Suns. Kevin Durant going back to Austin, where he played at UT. You're a Longhorn yourself. How excited are you to see Durant?
I think that's awesome. I really do. I mean, I think that's so cool. That's somebody is smart in this when they thought that up, right? Because think about that, right? Obviously, you're gonna have the Spurs fans, the contingency that's in Austin, but to bring Kevin Durant back, it's crazy that it took them they've been doing the Austin games, I think 3 years. I think this is the 3rd year that they've been doing it. And then somebody finally figured it out, right? Like, hey, why don't we bring KD back to UT? That's cool. I think it's awesome. I love it. I know people. We could get that. That's actually a topic in of itself. I know a lot of people hate the Austin games and all that. I love the Austin games. I've been every year that they've had them. Steph and I have been to those games, and they are so fun. They're such a good time. The Moody Center is a little bit more intimate, a little bit more smaller, and so there's not a bad seat in the house. I think it's cool that they're bringing Durant back. I think it's cool that it's kind of part of the road trip in a way, sort of. I mean, they're usually like in March, I think, like that. But this year they're kind of they're in between the road trip and the All-Star and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of gives the Spurs a chance to come back during the road trip. Technically, I mean, it's Austin, but yeah, it's home.
Yeah, they could sleep in their own bed.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool that the schedule makers did that this year. I love it, man. I like it, man. I think it's a cool thing, man. I know they're expanding markets, and I know people get upset about, hey, some of our home games are being taken away and going to Austin or whatever. I don't know, man. I think people are finding a reason to be fake mad because I mean, nobody goes to every single game, man. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm a season ticket holder and I don't go to every game. Like, I can't make every single game. So 2 games that are in Austin and not San Antonio, like to use that as a crux of, well, we're not going to pay for the new arena because they're doing Austin games. I saw that on Twitter. I think that's silly to me. I don't know. What say you? I mean.
Well, I hated the idea at first when it came to them going to Austin for a couple of games. I felt that it was, at the time, the Spurs had no plans yet for an arena downtown. At the time, the Spurs were losing. At the time, I've seen the movie Major League way too often, right? Rachel Phelps, right? You see the whole family selling pieces of their team to Austin business owners, to Dell and all of those guys, right? So I was a little bit disturbed by it all, but I feel a lot better about it because the Spurs are talking about opening up a $3 billion complex downtown, right? The City of Texas culture's evicted. Get the heck out of here. We need an right?
Yeah.
So I don't feel too bad about that anymore. When I went to the game in Austin, it was weird because I understand how Austin's an untapped market in the sense that whole city has no loyalty to the Rockets and no loyalty to the Mavericks, and they seem to have an affinity towards the Spurs. And I went over there. I made it a point to interview, not for any media publication, but just for me to go out there and talk to people about why are you here at this game? And they're like, it's just something to do. It's an experience. I want to see this player. I want to do this, that, and the other. I was fine with it after a while. I realized that they don't have the facilities to host the Spurs, and it would be years before they would, right? And then the Spurs building the Rocket La Cantera and what they're doing over there. Obviously, it's a San Antonio team, and I'm not mad that they're going to go to Paris to play a couple of games. One of them is going to be one of our home games, right? Because we have to give Wemby some love. If Wemby was not on this team, I'd be pissed if they're playing in Paris. A home game over there, but Wemby's our guy. That's his home. You show him love by allowing stuff like that to happen. Now, speaking of Wemby, Midtown asking the question, how many minutes is Pop going to let Wemby play to start the season? Unrestricted. I think the training wheels are off. I don't think they're going to do that 26 to 27 minutes per game thing that they did as a rookie for the first 3 or 4 months of the year.
Yeah.
I think the training wheels are off. He balled out at the Olympics, and I would piss off the fans if they had him on a quote unquote pitch count, whatever the basketball version of that is. I don't think that is what they're going to do. I think they're going to play him. I think they're going to play him 30, 34, 35 minutes a game.
I agree. And again, people get wrapped up in like, oh, they always do this or Pop always does that. I mean, and I don't think it's always. I mean, again, it was rookie year. There was a lot of unknowns. All that kind of stuff was going on. Hell, they were playing Jeremy Sohan at that point. Let's every year is different. There's a building block situation there. And I agree. I think people just want to have a reason to be upset about, I bet you Pop is going to not play Wemby. They're already like forecasting what they're going to be upset about on Twitter coming up. But nah, man, I don't think that, I don't think there's any kind of minute restrictions or anything like that, man. I'd be surprised if there would be. Sam Selena says, Rick, 2 games turns into 4, they gradually move, and you don't realize how many games they're playing out of San Antonio. I mean, again, I like you said, I can see the angst that people had in the beginning because there was this chatter about like, the Spurs going to go to Austin and all this stuff and whatnot, and I never really bought into that. But anything could happen. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say nothing is absolute. That could never happen. But I think the game, again, they used to play in Mexico City. I don't remember people clamoring so much when it was that. Like you said, home games in Paris. I think that's pretty cool. There's teams that play like in Germany and stuff like that. It's just it's the NBA is just trying to be more global and market. People think it's this like conspiracy against them. You know what I mean? Like I want to piss one fan off by taking games to Austin. Like, and it's not that. Like the NBA is thinking about bigger global stuff. So they play games in Berlin. They play games in Paris. They play games in different markets. I don't think it's this like evil scheme to upset the fans. That's me.
I think it was the inadequacy of it all because the Spurs were coming off losing seasons. You go to the game, and whether people want to admit it or not, before Wemby came to the Spurs, the fandom at the Spurs game sucked. There were empty seats, quiet crowd. We weren't used to losing.
Yeah.
And there seemed to be no hope before Wemby. And all of a sudden you're going to Austin. All of a sudden you're going to Mexico City. All of a sudden you're trying to expand your footprint. It was bad PR. I'm not saying that it was the wrong thing to do. It was just bad PR. It's like probably not the right time to be doing this.
Yeah.
But you see the Dallas Cowboys go out there and court Mexico. They're like, we'll be Mexico's team. And the Spurs going off and saying, we need to understand that this is a global game. These players are internationally known. They go to England. They go to all parts of Europe. They go to Asia. They go to China, Australia. They are known because NBA basketball travels. No different than fans of the soccer leagues in Europe. Where Man U and all of those things, or La Liga, or whatever the case may be. The NBA is that version.
Yeah,
it's that version, and we need to understand that it's a global scale. That they buy Spurs jerseys in France. We need to be France's team. We need, and we have Tony Parker. We have Boris Diaw. We have all these players here that can help bring Spurs fandom elsewhere. Sam coming out and saying international games are a different story. I hate it for the NBA. I hate it the NFL in Europe. Why? Because they're getting games that matter. We're getting the games. We're getting the same. We're not getting the same from the big soccer clubs. But they're not going to want to have a preseason game. You have to give them something that matters. Maybe not the best game. Yeah. I mean, look at the NFL. The NFL still sends Jacksonville, right? Because Jacksonville's fandom sucks. Jaguar Nation doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
Spurs should have an exhibition game at Miller's Pond. Dude, I was in Miller's Pond. I was in the gym at Miller's Pond. I could knock down threes like crazy. You put me outside on the double rims, I sucked ass. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you know I'm telling the truth. I'm an indoor dog when it comes to basketball. Outdoor dog. The what was it? Sydney on
the wind moves to the left to the right. Let you 4 inches, whatever. Yeah. You know what? I just watched that movie the other day again for like the millionth time, and I love that movie, man. That movie is like. You want to that's like a clinic and trash talk. You know what I mean? If you want to, if they ever taught a class somewhere about trash talking during a basketball game, you got to put Sidney Dean up there, man. You know what I mean? And then it's funny when the roles get reversed when Woody Harrelson starts trash talking, and Sidney's the one's trying to calm him down, So that's a classic, man. But yeah, man, like they play games in Abu Dhabi, right? Going back to the whole thing, man, they play games in Abu Dhabi. There's a big global strategy, big brain people that are, and I think it's a great idea to globalize the game and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it takes away some of the home games. Again, man, I see a lot of people upset that, and again, I'm not trying to piss nobody off, but like a lot of these people don't go to the games, man. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if people that are like don't go to the games are like upset that like. It's almost like you're upset about it. Like, I mean, maybe a lot of people aren't attending these games or whatever. I mean, obviously a lot of people are, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's as big of a deal as people make it out to be. Like, that's just me. That's my opinion. Again, I also have an affinity for Austin. I mean, I went to UT. I lived there for 4 years, so I love Austin, man. I have no problem with Austin. It's not San Antonio. Again, I get what it is. Austin's Austin, San Antonio. Like, that's just what it is. The games are fun.
UT or UTSA, September 14th. Who you got? Who you going for?
I got to go UT, bro. I got to go to my alma mater, dog.
What's Dyer gonna do? What's Dyer gonna do?
Y'all had a good show yesterday, by the way, man. Shout out to my man Dyer, man. You want to talk about a knowledgeable UT football fan, man? Yeah. Dyer knows his stuff, bro. Like, I went there, man, and I don't even know what he knows. You know what I mean? So it's like, I love listening. I can listen to Dyer talk UT football all day long, man. That dude is smart, man, and he knows his stuff. But yeah, he needs like a half and half, one of those like the Manning or the Kelsey, the mom wears like half one son, half the other, like the Kelsey or something. Yeah, we need to get Dyer like a half Texas and half UTSA jersey or something like that so he can wear, because he's gonna be torn. I think he'll probably take UT because he's always been a UT fan growing up as a kid. He's always been a UT fan. Always. He's always been a UT fan. But he went to UTSA. Yeah, no. But I mean, I'm saying, like, I've known Dyer since like third grade, man, and like that he's always been a UT fan. So he's been a UT fan a lot longer than he went, the 4 years that he went to college. But I don't know. I'm speculating. That's a good question to ask.
Tim Gonzalez bringing up the fact that UIW men's basketball team heading to Durham to play the Duke Blue Devils.
I saw that, man.
Super flag, guys.
How cool would it have been if Duke came to San Antonio to play? That would have been
UIW.
Hey, that would. I know. I'm just saying that would have been cool. That would have been so cool. But yeah,
we need to give UTSA men's basketball team some love this year because that arena that they play in is trash. The high schoolers at Northside ISD have a nicer gym than what the Convocation Center is for UTSA.
I've never been to the game there.
But that's gonna be interesting. Incarnate Word taking on Duke.
I
like that. I like that area, man. The triad area of North Carolina of Duke and
Raleigh Durham and all that.
Raleigh Durham and Chapel Hill.
Tobacco Road, man. I tell you what, I was stationed in North Carolina, my first duty station, and I kind of got to be around that area. And it's
at Bragg or where were we at?
No, I was at Camp Lejeune. Camp Lejeune, which is it's like a little bit south of Wilmington.
All I know about Camp Lejeune is that you might be part of a lawsuit with Camp Lejeune.
I'll tell you what, that water, man, it ain't no joke. So, hey, you know what? I'll tell you what, I got all my VA claims in, bro. Trust me, man. Camp Lejeune was my first duty station, and it was rough, man. I'll tell you, it's funny, man. I'll never forget. I get to Camp Lejeune, I get into base housing, and I'm like, this is 2003, and I'm young, I'm married at the time. I got a young family, and I'm like, man, I was living better when I was working at Bill Miller's back in San Antonio. Like I had a better place than this. You want me to live in this crappy Vietnam style base housing? It was crazy. But I'm being around that area, that Raleigh Durham area, man. It's cool, man. It's special. I like it too. I really like it too.
I think it's cool. I work in North Carolina twice a year. Usually it's April and October. Although this year they're sending me to Orlando. So Joe, if you're listening, there's a Friday and Monday in October where I either have to do it from my hotel room, the show from my hotel room, or I need to have Fernandez here with me. It's fun, man. I love going out there. It's a different vibe. That's why I like going. See, UTSA tailgates are fun, right? Mm-hmm. And we're growing. We're getting bigger, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what it is that a lot of San Antonio people don't know what it's like to go to a UT tailgate. They don't know what it's like going to a U tailgate.
Yeah.
Or go to a college basketball game in North Carolina because it's beyond Duke and UNC. It's Wake Forest. It's NC State. It's all these HBCUs in that area as well. They love and internalize basketball like we don't understand. The Big East, look at Philadelphia with Villanova and Drexel and Temple and all of those. There's like 6 universities there that do basketball there, really big. Big East is really big. It's just a different world. And right now, Fernandez, as a 47-year-old man who doesn't want to get old, my joy is to be what you do, which is go out to games. I want to go to the Vegas Summer League next year.
Oh, you got to.
I want to go do things like that. I want to be out and about. I want to go to concerts. I want to go to games. I am living right now to go do crap, to go do stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited.
You know what? And you're right, man. And I don't say this in no disrespect. I hope people don't take this in a disrespectful way. But I never left San Antonio, or at least the South Texas area, before I joined the Marine Corps. I never, as a kid, right? I never, my parents didn't have money to be going on vacations and doing all this kind of stuff. So the first time I got on an airplane was to Marine Corps Boot Camp San Diego, right?
Wow.
So yeah, literally, like I'd never been on an airplane. So I don't say this in disrespect, but what I will say is, like, if you've never left, and it's not just San Antonio, it's anywhere where you're from, like wherever you're from, if that's all you know, and you love what they do there, I understand that. But when you get to go, so like you say, when you go somewhere else and see a different vibe, a different culture, a different, just atmosphere, your horizons, expand, and you grow and you see things. And that's why I tell people, I love San Antonio, man. I'm through and through poodle, man. My poodleness has never been, a question, man. I love San Antonio, but there is a vibe out in LA, man. Like you come out to LA, man, it's a different vibe, man. You go to San Diego, it's a vibe, right? You go to New York, man, it's a different vibe. And so, like, experiencing those things does give you a little bit of sense of, Okay, this is different. Like you said, people are different, things are different, so I like to do that also, is go to those games and like experience the tailgates, experience those things. Yeah, you go to Tennessee or something like that. Like, yeah, like again, UTSA is cool. Those tailgates are fun. Don't get me wrong, man. Anytime you're drinking a bunch of booze and hanging around a good time, it's going to be a good time. But yeah, it's just different levels, man. Like big schools like UT, LSU, all those schools, it's just a fact of a matter, man. Like you said, it's just a different vibe. And so like I implore people to go try to experience those things if you can, obviously, because it just gives you a different perspective on things, And like I get crap a lot too. Even Dyer gives me crap like, well, we get it. Like you live in San Diego now. You're from San Diego. I'm not from San Diego, but like I do love San Diego, man. Like I'm telling you, anyone that's come out to San Diego, and Mike, you know this firsthand. Yeah. You fall in love with this place, man. You'd be crazy not to fall in love with this place. San Diego is amazing. Like the weather is beautiful. If you're a single guy, there's beautiful women. If you're a single girl, there's good-looking guys everywhere, man. Like this is a beach. I mean, you are a stone throw away from a beach. So how hard is it not to love that? Now, yeah,
there's a beach full of seals.
Yeah, yes, you can go walk over to the seals. Exactly.
Go hang with them.
Yeah, exactly. And
there's casinos there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And it never gets above 85. I mean, there's so much to love. You're right next to Mexico if you want to go to
TJ,
Tijuana.
bro. Exactly.
Like Obama.
Exactly.
So it's funny because like I'm looking at like things to do this year. I am mapping things out right now for the rest of the year. Like I know that with my business, I can be super successful or I can be successful and have a life. Two different things, right? I want to be successful and have a life. And part of that is saying, okay, I want to make enough money to obviously pay my bills, but I want to be able to make enough money to go to these games. I want to go to these comedy shows. I want to go do this, that, and the other. I don't want to sit on my ass at home anymore. Anymore. Rebirth, baby. That's what we're doing here. It's a rebirth.
Man. You gotta live life, man.
Do you feel it? Do you see it?
You gotta live life, man. You gotta live life, man.
We are now 1,042 subscribers strong here. I'm gonna refresh that. 1,042. We've been talking about having a party to celebrate 1,000. Now that I think about it, why don't we make this party a viewing party? I'm thinking, and I haven't talked to Joe about this, but I want to get your impression on this. And those who are in the chat right now, what do you guys think? Week 2, when Texas plays Michigan, I think we should have a viewing party. We'll celebrate that we got to 1,000, but we're all going to be watching that game anyway. We may as well watch it together. What are your thoughts?
Hey, that sounds like a great idea, man. I think you hit something. I think you got something with that because, like you said, that's a big one. It ain't like we can roll up to Ann Arbor. You know what I mean? So but I think that'd be a big one, man. And I like it.
11 a.m. kickoff.
I like
11 a.m. kickoff. We'll get off early. We'll be done by 3. You have the rest of the Saturday to go. You can tell your significant others, hey, I will be back by 3. I'll be back by 3. An 11 o'clock game on Fox. So I'll talk to Joe about that. Charlie Fernandez already saying, let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah. Or bring them, man. Or bring the ladies, man. And you got some of these ladies like to watch, are into it. Mine loves to watch. You know what? It's great when you have a partner who loves sports. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, that's a big deal for a lot of guys that are big sports fans, and maybe your significant other kind of doesn't.
Makes them better.
Yeah. If your significant other kind of doesn't like sports, and it's always one of those battles of like, are you gonna be with me? Are you gonna go watch the game? Are you gonna be that? It's just I'm not, and I got it. I'm not disrespecting nobody's relationship. If that's I'm obviously a lot of this is in jest, but. It's a whole nother ball game when they want to sit there and watch boxing with you, want to watch football with you, want to do those things. Like that's great, And I'm lucky enough to have a partner that's into all that. So there's no arguing about are you gonna go do this and do that? But it's just one of those things. But yeah, man, I love it, man. I think it's a great idea. I think everybody would be down, man. I think you're onto something.
I like it. I'm going to give some love again to MCS. Again, they are powering our chat over here for some reason. Look at me and technology. Me and technology don't go very well together. I was trying to think about this.
You're learning though, man. You're keeping it afloat, man. You're keeping it afloat. You're like you're like Jack Dawson, man. But you might, they might let you go, man. Rose might
I
let
made
you go.
it
There you
happen.
go.
I made it happen. Again, this whole chat's been powered by MCS General Contracting, 210-774-9155. And if you want to throw me some love, don't get me wrong, I love the super chats and all that, but believe it or not, that is my personal cell phone number. Why? Because I deal with finance, okay? I know I'm in t-shirt and shorts, but believe it or not, I do put on a suit from time to time. I manage $14 million of retirement assets. I manage $17 million worth of insurance assets. If you have questions about retirement planning, old 401k accounts, you need to start something, you need to roll into something, give me a call. Life insurance, disability insurance. If you have a business and need benefits, if you need income, if you're retiring going, where do I put my assets now? You give me a call, 210-508-0369. Again, 210-508-0369. I've been in business for 19 years. And if you go to brokercheck.org, that's brokercheck.org. This is a government website. You type in Michael Jimenez, San Antonio, Texas, you will see that in the 19 years I've been in business, 0 client complaints. I do a good job, dude. 210-508-0369.
Well, and it's funny you say that. I just kind of want to hit on something real quick. We get on here and we do these podcasts and we do what we do, and everybody does, right? Across the board, right? But most people have regular jobs, right? It would be great that this would be able to be our job and we get paid for this. You do your thing. I know Dyer has his thing going with home inspections, right? If you need anything with home inspections or any kind of stuff like that, Dyer just kind of started his own business doing that, right? Joe's doing his thing, right? I'm unemployed right now, technically, right? I retired from the Marine Corps after 20 years, but I'm looking at my next endeavor. It's just a shout out to everybody who's like, you got to understand, man, like people got other jobs. Joe's busy doing his other thing, and somehow he manages to get these things done. Mike is busy doing what he does, but somehow he's able to come on here and talk for, it's for the people kind of thing. So just kind of want to, throw that out there, highlight that, I wish we could do this for a living. You know what I mean? And one day that's the goal, that's the goal. But like I said, man, guys like Dyer, man, out there doing their thing, give them some love, man. If you need a home inspection, he's your man. If you need financial advice, this guy's your man. Like I said, I'm retired right now. I have no job. But if you need some like Marine Corps leadership advice, maybe you can give me a call, right? I'm here. But no, it's just a pain and a shout out to all of us who have other jobs. Steph does a bunch of videography and behind the scenes stuff, and she's kind of getting her stuff going, her business getting out there. So it's just on top of all this and putting this podcast together, right, is what we do, right? So shout out to all of everybody.
Joe does an amazing job, and we get super chats and it helps along the way. Speaking of which, Drew Show coming out says San Diego doesn't get above 85, but go 20 minutes east, it's hot as fuck. I spent a weekend at El Cajon and was sweating my balls off.
But that's true facts. I'll tell you what's crazy is like the disparity of the weather, and shout out to Drew Show for that $5 super chat. The disparity from San Diego to literally, like he said, 20 minutes inland, it's a whole nother ball game, bro. You
go to the desert.
Oh yeah, bro. And it's wild because it's like within less than an hour, like within less than 30 minutes. You go up to Temecula, man, and it is brutal. You would think you're in San Antonio with the way the weather is out that way. So yeah, man, it's a drastic change from San Diego or like Oceanside or somewhere like right on the water versus going inland. And that's why I know a lot of, and again, it's a lot cheaper inland, right? So here in SoCal, a lot of people work in Cali and vibe out work in San Diego, Oceans, and party out there and whatever, but they live inland. You know what I mean? They live in Temecula because you could buy a cheaper or house, right? For Cali standards, you could buy a cheaper property more inland. Obviously, the further away from the beach, the cheaper the places are. So a lot of people live that way, but they come out here to party and work and do what they do. I just kind of, for me, I'm like, man, I'd rather just have a smaller place closer to the beach than like a big place way more inland. Because it's like, well, what's the point for me? Like, what am I out in Cali for? You know what I mean? If I'm gonna live inland and be hot, for that I just I live in Texas. But he's right though, man. The climate difference between being like right on the water versus inland is ridiculous. It's wild.
Most definitely. I love the area out there. mentioned El Cajon. There's a nice little the Viejas casinos out there. That was really one of the biggest jackpots I ever hit was at Viejas out there. But man, it's been a good show, and we'll wrap it up, man. Because my daughter's here from Gotta go spend some time. She wants to go to Bill Miller's, just like your shirt.
There you go. Absolutely.
Is that Bear County Social Apparel?
Yeah, you already know. Yes, you already know, bro. You already know.
Bias. All right, man.
That's our guy, man. That's our guy. We just don't want him to get sued, bro. We don't want him to get sued. So you gotta be careful.
Okay.
The Fred's Fish debacle, which I have that shirt too. I got that one before the I have the Fred's Fish and the Bill Miller. I don't know. I might be the only one in the world that has both of those. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
Let me ask you what to do in Waco after a graduation. Ain't nothing to do in Waco, man. Unless you're gonna go to Chip and Joanna Gaines's shop and spend a lot of money. That's really all that you can do over there. How many wins will Texas get this season?
Hey, that's a tough one, man. We're
10 going to the playoffs. 10 in the playoff.
That Michigan game is going to tell a lot about this season, man. And it's early. Like and Dyer said it yesterday. We're going to find out really early.
I think Texas.
How this is going to go.
I think Texas so take that game. They got a new coach over there in Michigan.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think so too. That'll be a big road win, man, for Texas. So yeah, I agree with Mike on that win count.
Mario coming out and saying, "It's all candy apples down Marbach as a side hustle."
Hey, you already know, bro. Put away 7.
Speaking of food, I said my goodbye yesterday to Acadiana Cafe. So went out there with my folks and 2 of my kids. And it was great, man. I hadn't been there in years. I know they're closing up, I think, at the end of this month sometime. But I was keeping to the diet. I had the blackened grilled chicken, 2 chicken breasts, green beans, and a side salad. Carbs are the devil, man. That's just when it's all said. When it's all said and done. But tonight, we get a workout in, and I'm gonna have that 1 slice of cheesecake. 1 slice of cheesecake. I had to do it, baby. Gotta slim down. I'm about 10 pounds where I want to be. I don't want to be skinny. I want to be first trimester Michael, just not second or third trimester.
Man, you're looking good, man.
You can catch him on Twitter at the real Fernandez. Right?
Real Fernandez.
Again, the love that we show to MCS General Contracting. Again, our fellas out there, give me a call if you need financial help, investments, retirement planning, things like that. Give some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs for your daily Spurs content. And again, MCS General Contracting, been with us from day one, just like Jeff. 210-774-9155. Thank you for the super chats to it was Drew Show. It was Mario Cavazos and Sam Salinas who gave super chats today. Thank you so much. Keeps the microphones on, keeps the microphones hot, man. We're not trying to make a business out of this to like it's our only job, but it needs to be profitable. You guys help out. And by the way, we're the only podcast going on at this time. Our good friends, Rudy J, Mike Taylor, have moved their podcast to the evenings. That means when things get going, college football, NFL, fantasy football, and you want to talk about something local during the day, we're the only place in town, baby. Only place in town. Thank you also to Jack Thompson, to Fernandez, to John Dyer for being on the show this week as well. There's one that I'm missing. Who am I missing here? Oh, Jeff Garcia, who was on the show earlier this week as well. Next week, we should have James Pledger at some point next week. The return of Fernandez. I'm sure we'll have more guests. Joe Garcia comes back, not next week, but the week after that. And we're excited about the future with this show. 1,042 subscribers strong. Hit the like button on the way out. It's Fernandez. Have a fantastic weekend. I'm heading to Bill Miller's, baby. That's what
man. Hell yeah, man. Have that tea for me, brother. Have that tea. Have that po' boy or whatever y'all going to have. But yeah, man, shout out to all the listeners, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me, Mike.
Fellas, you'll have a great weekend. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Fernandez. And on behalf of Joe Garcia, this is the Alamo City Sportscast. We'll be back on Monday.